Located at the entrance to Weymouth Harbour, Nothe Fort is a labyrinth of underground passageways and outdoor areas with stunning views of the Jurassic coast. Construction of the coastal defence began in 1860 by a civil engineer, and it was finally commissioned in 1872 at the cost of £120,000. From the start, it was planned for military use to protect Portland's harbour from potential invasions by the French, but never saw any real combat until the beginning of World War II, when the harbour was used as a base for British and American natives. At the time, the fort was constructed of 3 levels, and the lowest level, magazine level, was originally designed to store gunpowder and shells. The middle level, gun deck level, was designed to accommodate 12 heavy muzzle-loaded cannons and provide accommodation for the soldiers manning the cannons. The top level formed the ramparts and provided a raised platform that could be used to fire muskets and light muzzle-loaded cannons during an attack on the fort. However, the coastal defence was abandoned in 1956, and as a consequence, the fort was no longer required to protect the entrance to Portland Harbour. For the following 5 years, the fort was used to house naval stores and degaussing equipment. Under the ownership of the council, the fort was left unoccupied and quickly became vandalised and started to fall into a state of dereliction.
People like hippies used to come in and live here. I wasn't around in those days, but I hear the stories about it, yeah. Just to break in and sleep here.
The fort is now maintained by Weymouth Civic Society under a lease agreement with Weymouth and Portland Borough Council, and has since turned into a museum and tourist attraction where it remains open to the public today.
My name is George Ford. I've been here about 7 years now. My job role is with the evacuee experience. That is the children from various primary schools in the area who are either having done or are doing their World War II project at school. And we bring them here and they are subjected to things like the shop here, 1940 style shop, and the air raid shelters and school and all sorts of things like this, as it was in 1940. An awful lot away, not only for the evacuee experience, which we do here, but it's a venue for many different events. There's a great big one coming in the first 2 weeks in June, which is the Matchstick Fleet, and that is a fellow who's now 84 years of age, who spent his whole life making matchstick models, and he's made hundreds and hundreds of ships. An absolutely perfect job he's made on them too. He's exhibiting those in June and August. It's a very interesting day out for all sorts of people, all ages.
Hello, I'm Phil Warren and I'm the builder of this collection of models which are known as the Matchstick Fleet. When I was a boy of 16 I had this urgent need to build a model like most boys have, and of course this is 1948, which predates model kits, plastic kits and so on, so I decided I would build my models out of matchsticks and matchboxes only. Amazingly, I'm still doing it 66 years later. What I do is I build a framework of matchsticks and then I cover it with the wood from the matchbox, which over the years the detail is improved, and they're all scale models made. The scale is 1 to 300. I build this framework of matchsticks, I cover it with the wood from the matchbox, and over the years they have got more and more accurate, and I've put into them things that move, so guns turn and elevate, helicopters, rotors actually do rotate when you blow on them, radars revolve, missiles turn and elevate. Everything that can possibly be made to work with a simple matchstick pivot through a burnt hole, I've achieved. I've now built over 450 of these models, and they range from the ships that were afloat and in service in 1945, the end of the Second World War, right up to today. So quite unwittingly, I've managed to build a history of warships in the last 60 years. I'm here this time at the Nothe Fort in Weymouth, supporting the fort, and I come here usually twice a year for about a fortnight, just to help the fort because I so admire what's going on here.
The Nothe Fort has a wide-ranging and large number of displays. These not only cover the history of the Nothe Fort, but also the history of Weymouth and Portland during different eras of war. These displays include such things as miniature models, life-size mannequins, and also illustrate detailed history, which are all made and researched by Nothe Fort volunteers. The courtyard often holds community events, such as military festivals, concerts, drama, and cultural olympiad. The Fort Artillery in their splendid artillery uniforms amaze the fort's visitors with their musketry and cannon firing skills on alternate Sundays throughout the year, and on occasions when the fort holds special events. They also attend events promoted by their organisations and are always a major attraction.
Gun ready.
Where? Right, budget, artillery!
Even though the Nothe Fort played a role in the unforgettable World War II, it still stands today to show visitors the importance it had during the eras and is a valuable monument to Weymouth and Portland.